Mayfield now on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Green, 39!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
All right, here we go. Blue, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. They'll drop to throw. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
After splitting the uprights, McMahon. To kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. They juked him. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game. And
this will be caught at the 30. And they better put that ball to the side because with that catch, he's a new single-season receiving yards record holder.
What a fantastic year. And we saw it start early, didn't we, partner? Right out of the gate. We knew he was going to have a tremendous year, but who knew it would...
Now Gordon on first down. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got to back before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Second down, Mayfield. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Mayfield, he's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Odell Beckham, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point try good by Gano, and we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Here we go now.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The numbers for Coleman last week: 18 carries, 61 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
4 down, 4 down. Now let's go.
Back to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. That's good for a Cleveland first down.
But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. They go play action here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. Picked off at the 20.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Over the middle to Beckham. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run him with Bell. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Le'Veon Bell stops short of the line to gain. And this Browns defense stands tall. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. K.J. Wright coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
This is taken at about the 14. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was...
He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. They come up in an offset eye. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll look to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well in attacking the football.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Taking it about the 16. Dancing away at the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And out come the Dolphins now. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah. Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Mayfield now. Flush to his right. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on 3rd down. They nearly got him. Probably should have gotten him, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at his 4. Take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll return it from the 6. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Going for the deep ball. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
It's fielded at the 45. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Looking to pick up some steam, generate some steam right now. Down on the scoreboard and struggling a bit.
And sometimes you have to find it from places you don't ordinarily get it. Not necessarily just going back and throwing the football. Maybe use your legs a little bit. Maybe rely on some teammates, get the ball in their hands. Anything to try and generate a spark. But bottom line, he has to play a lot better.
Yeah, he does. He's got the 2 INTs and the 1 touchdown pass so far. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw here. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Set. Blue 90.
Back to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. He finds Beckham complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
Still
I
first
think
down.
he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Again, it's Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. Second down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now here come the Dolphins. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Brissett now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
Here
the gun, Brissett. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a
receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Come on, let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
Brissett now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Now let's go. 3:19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. It was running out of gas close there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Space to maneuver at the 40, as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. So we come upon halftime with a tie score, 13-all. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll kick things off with an AFC matchup. The New York Jets on the road at Tennessee. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. The Bills seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Adam Thielen, a touchdown reception.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two, wasn't he? And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Adam Humphries, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Bell so light on his feet. Le'Veon Bell. Kiss him goodbye. Past the 20. It's a big run that time by Bell. 67 yards on the ground. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll set up to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Browns on 3rd down. As bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now.
He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete.